Oh, we're back.
We're back.
Hey-o.
We got touchdown Bears. Touchdown Bears in Arlington Heights, maybe.
Oh gosh, so that's official, right? Let me fix this.
Official, like a referee with the whistle, I believe.
Bears out.
Tony, you were the only participant in the Not Another Three Putt podcast to go to a Bears game so far this year.
I actually didn't go to the game.
So all right. You didn't make it. They didn't let you in.
So you saved $1,000.
I'm not much of an NFL fan. However, a friend who's always been in like the top 200 in America realtors came into town. And he's like, hey, my family does this tailgating thing. This is going to be a great time. You got to come down to the city and meet me. I got a hotel room. You can crash, whatever. So I did. So I met my buddy down there and met all of his friends. I've been tailgating, but it's probably been since I was a kid.
A kid?
Yeah. I mean,
wow.
I'm not into it. I just don't go do this.
Was it on the Waldron, like the upper, was it on the parking garage?
No, and we were on the other side of McCormick Place.
Oh, shit.
But I guess, so this area, the people are really serious about food. They're like protected from the wind.
Yeah.
The highway comes over. So like these people have their spots for years and years.
You're like off Indiana, between Indiana and State Street somewhere.
Exactly. Yeah. And they were serious about it, but what was unbelievable, and actually I didn't think much about this Arlington Heights, Chicago thing because I didn't really care until that day, because the hotel that we were at was busy with people. The restaurants were busy with people. We left actually because we didn't have tickets to the game. And we went to local bar place. You guys know it. But anyways, it was packed.
Victory Tap?
No, we actually went north of there. What the heck's the name of it? I'll think of it. It doesn't matter. Anyways, every place we went by was busy with people who were like down there tailgating, but didn't have tickets to the game. And I'm like, cannot be a one-off. And everybody's like, oh, it's like this every week that they play here. And I can't believe that the city would give that up.
I think you went to was it a Monday night game too?
It was a Monday night
crazy.
game.
Like, but that's even like I would say it's probably maybe a little more tame on the tailgate versus like a Sunday afternoon or a Sunday
season opener. Too.
Yeah,
that's true.
Regardless, though, if it's even half the business that I saw, like these business owners, I mean, they're already having a hard time downtown Chicago in that area. All right. Vacancies are real high. I just can't believe like the Chamber of Commerce hasn't gotten together and like demanded like, look, you got to do something to keep them here.
I mean, South Loop is a desert. So we live there. There's like for restaurants, there's like 4, and the rest of the city, there's stuff everywhere. That whole place, I feel like, is going to collapse. Now they're trying to do that new neighborhood over there, right? Whatever it is, the 43rd or whatever.
Oh, is that like South, like Brownsville type?
Yeah, it's like on the river. Like it's all like bulldozed, and they're trying to get the White Sox to go there.
Oh yeah.
Like, they haven't started developing it. Maybe that saves it, but what happens down there? It all just collapses. Dude.
Yeah, I can't. It seems really selfish. I mean, I know that doesn't come into it when we're talking politics. But like, I would be beside myself angry if I owned a business down there. And it was really a good time. I mean, like I super enjoyed it. I would definitely go do that again. And the other thing is, for a whole ton of us who live in the Southland or Northwest Indiana, it's really easy to get to Soldiers Field.
Yeah, really easy. 45 minutes, man.
Arlington Heights displaces a lot of different people throughout Chicagoland, and there's a lot of people that live in the city that go to that stuff. They're not going to go out to Arlington Heights.
I drive past where that stadium's going to be almost every weekend from May till October. I mean, just the intersection alone on 53 and 14 right there, it's a 4-lane highway right now. The stadium's going to hold 100,000 people?
Oh my God, it's going to
be like, how are you going to get people there? Right there? Oh, well, we got a metro stop. Well, you get like Chicago, like you get to where Soldiers Field's at, like you got the electric line, you can get off right around there. You have every other
Millennium Park.
Yeah, you have all the like you have the entire loop. It's a 1.5 mile walk. You don't have that in Arlington Heights.
There's going to be one stop.
Yeah.
So
the last stop.
That day, I was in a bit of a hurry and I did drive fast. And I took my motorcycle, so things were quick. But like I got from my house to where I had to be to meet Andrew in 37 minutes.
No shit.
Yes. In St. John to down there. Arlington Heights, man, that would never, ever
That'd be 2 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Minimum.
Absolutely.
Wow. Well, that ship sailed. I don't think there's any saving it, right? I haven't really followed it.
I don't think they like. What else are you gonna do? You have but here's the point though about so the city of Chicago had all these restaurants and bars that receive all of this boost in sales and everything. So now you have Arlington Heights who kind of jacked around with some taxes and played some games on how this stadium's going to get financed because the Bears they're the only team in the NFL owned by a family whose wealth came from owning an NFL team.
Right.
But we look at all these other stadiums, like look at what the Ricketts did with Wrigley. Like all of the value is in the other businesses that you can put around there.
Right.
And I don't like that spot in Arlington Heights is a little bag of tricks, but we'll see what happens. I don't know.
I think part of the deal is that the Arlington Heights is going to update like the infrastructure and do all those things. Well, the taxpayers are going to pay for that. So like they're giving tax credit. I don't know how the whole deal works.
It's a long game of a gamble.
Yeah.
When they could have just made when the city could have just made some concessions and immediately helped a lot of people out, or at least kept these people in business.
Yeah, it's a bag of tricks. I mean, what they could technically build another stadium.
What was the argument from the city with their argument with the city of Chicago? Like overall that the expense was too high?
So the Park District owns Soldiers Field. So, and then Soldiers Field National Landmark. So they can't make any updates. So so the Soldiers Field, I think, has the third lowest capacity in the NFL.
It's only like 50 or 60,000.
Yeah, and like then that was hard to get to that level. I mean, the Bears played in Champaign for a couple of years when they were putting the UFO on the stadium.
Yeah.
So that's part one. Part two, because the Park District owns it, they want to host MLS games and they want to host World Cup, and so you can't put turf there.
Yeah.
You would know probably a little bit more about how the soccer.
Real grass.
So they're betting it all on maybe a World Cup, which is what every 4 years, 2 years, something like that. And then, which is crazy though, but city of Chicago, right? I mean, they charge like all these other amusement tax, like all the taxes on the tickets and everything else. Like it's a blunder. I would like.
Hey, maybe they'll get another team. Maybe they'll bring someone else in.
It is amazing that we have one of the largest cities, and we have two baseball teams. Well, maybe one and a half, and
one football team.
One football team.
Well, let's start one.
All right. Yeah. 3 white guys from Northwest Indiana.
Yeah. Watch these guys get killed on Sunday.
The replacement.
No, literally killed.
The replacement.
Keanu Reeves in there
smoking a cigarette.
Yeah, and then like the soccer guy from England come over and be a kicker. What else we got, Junior?
Oh, so we got we talked a little bit, NFL stuff. Bears were on bye this past week. Football is just not. It doesn't do it for me anymore either. So I don't have much about that. Baseball, Cubbies not looking so great. Maybe.
Well, they're out, right? They lost.
No, they play today. They play the Brewers, don't they?
We should have.
Yeah, they
I
play.
don't know.
What's the
They
They played today.
Well, they did lose on something.
They played today.
Maybe they lost 2 games already.
They played today.
Right.
How is it that I know this more than y'all?
All right. Well, here's what I
Tell
do.
us what's going on.
Here's
I
what
don't know what's going on.
Here's
I know that they played today. I heard it on the radio on the way in.
So interesting fact for the St. John folk here. Brewers last 3 years have drafted someone from Lake Central High School.
Get out of here.
Really?
Yeah. So Lake Central pumping out some good pitchers there. Baseball's baseball.
They're 0-2 against the Brewers. That's not good.
Yeah. Hey, that game on Saturday was atrocious.
I had best story. So when the Cubs made it to the World Series last time, these guys I was doing tons of business with for years, all right, and they really never asked for anything from me. I would get them great Christmas presents and whatever, and like the Cubs are going and going and going, and they never even came to Chicago. All right, these guys I only met them in person twice, and we did 180 deals together. So they hit me up and they're like, we're coming into town. We'd really like to go to this World Series game.
Oh.
I'm like, damn. Yeah. Never asked me for anything, but there's that. So I'm like, I can't say no. So I'm like, yeah, man. They're like, you're our guy in Chicago. If anybody can
figure it out.
So I'm like, oh man, oh no. So like their Cubs were looking really good, right? Like they're gonna win. I'm like, so I go like one of these ticket brokers, and it's thousands.
Oh yeah.
All right. I think it was like $8,000 or something. So I'm like, damn, so I buy these tickets.
Oh no.
And like, I'm like, I got to tell him like, hey, you guys tickets. I got this whole package and all of this. And I'm like, oh man, it was stinging, right?
Yeah.
So everybody, like the game before, like they had to win to get to that game. And everybody around here is like going nuts for them to win and whatever. And I'm like, lose.
Yeah.
Lose. They need to lose. And they lost. And it was the greatest sigh of relief. I'm like, oh my God. I was so glad. I'm like, this is like the best thing ever.
Sorry, guys, I didn't make
I
it.
took them to dinner. And it was like $200.
Yeah.
A financial windfall.
And they don't drink either, so my bill was really low. I took them to
That's
like the
beautiful.
nicest restaurant. I'm like, oh, this is great.
The vets.
Yeah.
There we go.
Anyways, there you go.
All right, so there's our baseball report. Other things kind of going on. We saw government still shut down. You guys are wondering.
It's like how many weeks now?
Week and a half. Yeah, the longest one we've had was 35 days.
Oh, really?
We're coming up into a pretty big point though, because today's what, the 8th. So the 15th, a lot of the Department of Defense and military people are due a paycheck.
Uh-oh.
We'll see if that typically brings the
people at the table.
Yeah. So
you can't lose the veteran.
I thought they were a part of like essential government.
There is a whole bunch of weird stuff. So like they have to work, but they don't get paid.
Yeah.
Good. Feels like being a real estate agent.
I'm like, dude, I should talk to him.
Yeah. I'm a buyer's agent.
Let me show you guys how this works. We'll see. So that has, if USDA financing has put a complete halt on it. Files where you need, or mortgage deals where you need NFIP flood insurance policies.
Yeah.
Also a problem. FHA condo spot approvals problem.
That flood insurance thing's wild to me. You can't get one right now. You close a deal in a flood zone, you are in trouble.
Wow.
Yeah, you get the private flood insurance.
It'll be fine.
Yeah.
Everything's all right.
It's never gonna flood.
Yeah. Don't listen to this guy.
Don't worry about those 7-inch rain events. So that's obviously caused a little bit of a wrinkle. Also, there was a big data report that was supposed to come out on this past Friday from Bureau of Labor Statistics. That didn't come out. So that's kind of thrown the bond market and mortgage rates into a little bit of a tizzy that went the other way. We'll see what happens here. We anticipate that there's a 98% chance of a Fed cut in October here.
They've been talking it up. When's that meeting?
October 24th, I don't know, somewhere around there.
So this shutdown does affect us more than what the average guy feels, because I'm just kind of like, well, I'm good.
Yeah, well, there's some consequences, I think, the longer it goes.
Yeah, it's the tricky part. Like if you have people with USDA financing, we can't close those loans.
They don't. Yeah, it's funny. You don't really feel it. It doesn't seem to be as punitive. I remember when Obama was in office and the government shut down. He was really punitive. Like I went to some national parks and stuff, and they had them like closed. And these are national parks that like didn't require anybody to be there, any maintenance, any like you drive
like the one in Indiana.
And you look at the thing, you look at it, no, that's nice, take a picture and move on. All right. And they're like closed. Yeah, you can't even look at this stuff. It doesn't seem to be going on. So I think people don't feel it. Maybe Trump should have been a little bit more punitive.
A little National Lampoon's Vacation while the world's closed. Start punching the moose.
World was closed.
So a little bit of some weird stuff in the mortgage and the finance markets here, but what that's kind of brought to light, and this is starting to pick up, I think, August, there was maybe a tweet by Trump and Pulte with this whole Great American Mortgage Company thing and the Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac IPO.
Yeah.
And
I think a lot of people don't really understand how all that works.
It is unbelievably complex.
It's interesting to me.
Let's dig in.
Yeah. We're going to try to keep this one maybe above the waterline as possible.
Just drops off.
Yeah. Well, it's I don't want to get too deep into conspiracy theories down here and go through some stuff.
So basically, it's a replacement of Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac, right?
Yep.
Who's like, they buy the mortgages, right? And they're the ones that make the mortgage market kind of smooth because they establish underwriting criteria and they securitize these things into bonds. And they tell the banks, if you write a loan in accordance with these criteria, we will buy it from you.
Yep.
And then they buy it and they package it amongst another ones. And then they create a bond and somebody, it used to be a private market buys those, but for a long time now, it's been our government buys those. So we're trying to get away from the government heavily involved in the mortgage business?
So this is the perfect segue, and you hit the nail on the head. So because the government has been heavily involved in this, the government, like the whole pitch is, the administration wants to have the windfall for the taxpayers, right? We want to cash out our bets. Fannie and Freddie, robust income. Let's push this thing out so that we can get a chunk of this off the treasury and a capital infusion, maybe shore up a good chunk of the deficit.
Okay.
However, it doesn't quite work like that.
Yeah, because you can't just turn it off. Once the government comes in, you can't just turn that off, right? And there's really nobody big enough to buy it except for
Bill Ackman, which
Can't,
oh, good thing the FCC's not out
you
here.
can't listen. You can't say that name out loud.
Yeah,
I think the scary part is what comes with the government, who's been under conservatorship, right, since 08 or 11 or whenever they took it back over, but they're backing these securities. So like that's reducing the risk for whoever's buying that, even though it's their own government. So if it goes private, is the government going to back those securities? That's the big thing.
That's,
right?
yeah. So Tony, before you walked in, Adam and I were talking about this, and you'd understand this. You've been in the mortgage business for a little while too. So the biggest issue, right, is okay, if we value, the IPO, the stock's going to go out at this. Well, the stock's value is, like you said, right? We're saying, hey, if these deals all fit into this thing, we're going to securitize it, we're going to package it, right? And we're going to make sure we're going to ensure the value and performance of these bonds. That's called the implicit guarantee. Well, what happens if Fannie and Freddie go IPO and there's not an implicit guarantee? Now correct. Now, because now we don't have the backing we don't have the backstop of the government, we don't have the backstop of the taxpayer.
It's not as safe.
So now we're dealing with Wall Street money. Just like that.
Yes, so rates have to go up.
They in a general, what do you want to call it, poll assumption that the 30-year fixed mortgage rate goes up by 1.5 to 2 points.
But this is also why I say, like, I tell people, like, when we're talking about rates today, I'm like, I really don't see things lower than like 6 or high 5s, like forevermore, because it just doesn't make sense for financial markets
At all.
Right. So if the Fed continues to bring things down, say the Fed comes down to like 3, all right. If we had a real market that was a private market, you'd still need quite a bit of a spread there, right? So rates stay at 6.
Correct.
It's funny how that works.
All right. And I think maybe we're moving towards that, and hopefully it creates some stability. What would you say if you had to place a bet of the percentage? What percentage would you give that you think that it's going to become privatized? Are we talking there's a 10% chance, a 90%, 50-50 at this stage?
I'd have to give me till the next time you're on to give you a solid answer. I would say
I get to come back.
Yeah, you're welcome back. I'm shooting from the hip on this. I would say for it to go in a perfect move off to where it's limited disruption, limited impact, probably less than a 5% chance. There's 2 big things that go on because it's government accounting, right? So they have to figure out how to handle that. So, but the other part of it is like, would you trade $300 billion in cash today for a $10 trillion risk, right? So the implicit guarantee that you're on the hook for performance on 10 trillion. We'd have to get we gotta get Patrick in here to do some future value calculations on that.
We could use it on my app. That's 300 billion into 11 trillion. How many years is that? That's a long time. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just an ongoing thing. I think it's because they didn't make this move earlier, and it's because we won't go into all the conspiracy theories about where all that cash went. But
what if the government gets 300 billion? What are they going to do with it?
That's because of government accounting. So it actually, because of the way this thing's held, it creates another thing. So we have preferred stock warrants. It's a huge mess. But there's one guy that wins a lot of money if it goes.
It's a perfect example, though, of once the government takes something over, how difficult it is to give it back. I mean, when they put it into conservatorship, I really kind of felt like, well, here we are from now on. It's going to go from conservatorship to eventually become like how Canada does it, where really the government just controls these things.
Yeah.
I have to say, though, for the Canadian market, though, it's made things a lot smoother with them
It's just
controlling
less of
it.
this.
Yeah, there's a lot less volatility. Things are stabilized. And like, look, man, if our government, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I'm a small government guy, but we're already at this stage, okay? And if the government's going to be spending tons of money on other things, all the other crazy stuff that we spend money on, $300 billion to Ukraine, whatever it is, all right, we can afford to have some cash put aside towards smoothing out a mortgage market for our regular consumer and creating stability in housing.
So I have one thought and one question on that. So the other thought, right? So Fannie and Freddie right now, they, in my opinion, and this is actually getting floated out there a little bit, they underwrite and allow us to fund and securitize second homes and investment properties. There is talk of that going away because that's outside of the scope of their charter, which is affordable home and sustainable home ownership. So why are the taxpayers offsetting or wearing the risk for someone else to buy an investment property, right? Because you're getting that subsidized.
Good point.
You're generally getting a subsidized rate. But I know you were in Montreal earlier this year. You have a really good buddy that's a real estate agent up there, right?
Yep.
I'm curious, like how you've led into a little bit of something, an itch I'd like to scratch on, like the opinion of how that mortgage and how finance works there and what it does to real estate.
Do they do
We
business
should
in
bring him
English?
on.
Does he-
Sebastian Spirano. He has all the equipment to do like a live and whatever. He's got his own podcast.
Are the
stuff and
contracts
all
there
that.
in English or French?
They're- you know what? I've seen them. I should know this. I don't know. I believe it's English. However, Montreal though is where it's like you're required to speak
They're like super
French.
French.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that they finance it because I know that a ton of dudes who own investment properties there who have loans on them, and things are just much more cut and dry. Now, I will say this: I know that their originators have to do like 2 to 3 times the business to make the same amount of money, whereas the real estate agent's fee structure is pretty much the same as what we have here.
All right, so my hair's gonna get a little more gray. But
Yeah.
Wait. All
Oui.
right, well, yeah, I think it'd be cool if we could maybe hook that up, get
We
him
should
on.
definitely
It'd
do
be an
that.
interesting perspective.
Yeah, I'd
right?
love to
Like
hear
we've
that.
never.
Les incompetents.
Oh, you learned some stuff when you were in Europe.
That's from Home Alone. Remember? This is what the French call
We got
les
the
incompetents.
member berries.
Right now, where we stand now, rates are relatively stable in
Bouncing around the middle sixes.
mid 6s.
We'll see. The other interesting part, right? We have when the government shut down treasury issuance, which is another thing that drives up inflation, creates a little bit of concern. I don't want to bore everyone with that. To your point, I sent you a couple of weeks ago, and I think I probably sent it to Adam too. Like, I don't see in the majority of the market, if you look at where we're headed by the end of next year, 5.75 on a 30-year fixed.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're not that far off, and we can do the math on it.
I agree with Tony. I think it should stay here. Like, I think this is where we should be. We should have been for the last 20 years, probably.
Oh, absolutely.
Artificially down. Now we're just taking our
We
medicine.
kicked a giant can down the road, so we're going to have some pain as we're working through that, right? It's also why we're working through the low inventory situation that we have right now, is because we subsidized the entire mortgage business far too much for far too long. All right. And we're working through that. It's very well could be a 10 to 15 year issue of getting through this. Inventory is still low.
We'll have to go a little market from you here. So inventory is low, but all these headlines keep talking about price cuts.
Well, yeah, that's a matter of agent pricing, right? We're chocked full of more agents than we've ever had. And a lot of the agents that became like this great agent out of nowhere in the last 5 years really did it out of luck. They got lucky that their property sold because appreciation. They were saved by appreciation, not saved by their fantastic skill set. So we're seeing still a lot of your house sold for 600, so mine must be 625, and the agent takes it at that. And then the next one, well, this one's at 625, so I must be 675. All right, and I'm facing this in the field constantly. And we're not to whatever. I see it all the time where I'm working with buyers. I'm like, no, it's not worth that. Well, what do we have to do to get it? All right. So you're seeing price cuts on active inventory. I'm not seeing it on closed property. You're seeing closed stuff settle in about where it should be. All right. And this is across a range of things. Just this week alone, I did a valuation in Mount Greenwood. That's what we're seeing in Mount Greenwood, sliding sideways. Did one in Wheatfield, Indiana. These markets could be, they're about as different as it possibly gets. Same thing. We're seeing people trying for this enormous price, but then when we check the closed ones are pretty much in line here.
In a pretty narrow band.
So it depends on where you want to pull the data from. If we just pull it from a realtor.com or a Zillow, and we're looking at what stuff is for sale for, you're seeing price cuts, but you're seeing price cut off of something that didn't exist anyways. All right. I think we are seeing, and I know that, so that's the Midwest. On the coasts, and certainly we look down in Florida. Yes, we are seeing some depreciation happening there.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
And I know a lot of Remax broker owners down there. I was in Remax for years and years. A bunch of my friends own brokerages down there. You are seeing some depreciation, but it's not off the charts. It's not crazy. There's some opportunity. I think we'll really see where we're at in 26.
All right. Adam, anything else on the insurance side of the world?
No, man. Things are still doing the same thing. I mean, I'm hopefully we're through these homeowners rate increases. I think what happened is, people don't know this, but insurance companies have to file for their rates with the state. Like the state has to allow it, and there's like this process for it. So I think what happened was Illinois and Indiana, the insurance companies saw the writing on the wall, and they put in these huge rate increases to try to get ahead of it because they knew that it would be harder next year. So I think we've done this, and then hopefully that stays us off for a little while. So, but auto rates are coming down, guys. Auto rates are coming down. We're through that. So if your insurance rate's not going down, call us because it should be. They're coming down.
That's I think we talked about this a couple of weeks ago too, right? There's maybe one or two companies out there that are intentionally undercutting the initial premium on homeowners insurance. Creates a little bit of a bind in your escrow account and some other problems.
They throw a couple of loss leaders out there, and then they get it back in the second year, and it always comes back. Like there's no deals out there.
Funny when you divide it by 3, how it all goes. All right, anything else?
That's all I got, man.
All right, you get Adam at adamsmyagent.com, me at applywithjr.com, and you could Google Tony Minadero. You could spell his name right or wrong.
708-259-3734.
I heard something about he's going to join the Department of Defense now and work for free as buyer. I'm going to be the buyer's agent for the entire army.
Yeah,
we're be conquering this stuff. All righty, we're out till next time.
I'm done. Cut the show.